going to call the Admin Exec Committee meeting into order at 3 p.m. First, I need to read a short statement. Due to the current surge in coronaviruses being experienced in the state of California, the governor has reinstituted conditions that were originally stated in his state of emergency declaration of March 4th, 2020, and they have imposed recommended measures for promoting social distancing. That's the reason why people who wished, from the public who wish to participate in this meeting have to do so online. Okay, thank you. Committee or public comments? Do you have any comments about today's meeting from the committee members? Do we have anybody from the public that would like to address the committee? All right, item number 4, discussion on Senate Bill SB 606 and Assembly Bill 1668. While it's generously described here as establishing guidelines for efficient water use, it really also intends to reduce everybody to about in-house use of 45 gallons per person per day.
Yeah, and actually I have not had any updates on that specifically, but a couple things related to it. You've probably seen, I forwarded an email that the governor of State Water Board has issued some new restrictions on water use with water waste. But most, if not all of them, are in our existing ordinance 103, which has been in effect since September of 2017. So I don't think there's anything that we really have to be concerned about, because as I said, we've been doing these things since 2017. The other thing I wanted to mention, kind of related to this, I was on an Aqua webinar for water loss efficiency standards that the state's been developing for each agency. The intent is to reduce the amount of water loss to leakage, that sort of thing. Some districts are more efficient than others. The last time I actually looked at it extensively was when we, during the earlier drought from 2012 to 2017, we were requested to come before the state board because we weren't making our 36% conservation target. And one of the items that they wanted information on was our water loss percentage. And if I recall right, I may be a little bit off, but for the prior 5 years, it was less than 4%, which is really pretty good. I've seen data from water districts back east, Philadelphia, Boston, where they're up in the 20-30% loss due to leaks. So during the webinar, I believe the loss standards take place or become effective in 2023, but the information as it was presented, they did a little poll online where we asked people to answer, and I felt pretty good because I answered. They were asking, how does this affect your district? And I said, not sure. And when they put the poll results out, 41% of the people said they weren't sure. So it's kind of confusing what the state's doing. I'm not sure what they're coming up with, but I'll continue to be engaged in the webinars and hopefully get a better understanding.
Has there been any feedback? Has there been any feedback for the evaporative coolers?
I have not heard anything whatsoever other than when Shannon Grove was here in Ridgecrest, and I made her aware that that was an issue for the water district. She sent a text message to Joaquin Escobar, who's with the State Water Board. He confirmed that that was a variance they were looking at, and I haven't heard anything since.
Thank you for the report. So, estimates for San Francisco and Los Angeles, California are from 30 to 40% loss from leaks in their main distribution lines.
Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, I look at the Los Angeles news, and it seems like once a week they have a water main break that's flooding people out. So I'm sure their water loss is higher than 4%.
Right, their water systems are over 100 years old generally.
Right.
All right, item number 5, draft agenda for regular board meeting, January 10. Any comments from the committee about the regular board meeting agenda?
I'll just add under item 8C, the Groundwater Authority report. I know Director Bertora will give his report, but I did want to mention I've been working and I've gone over this with Ty and Jason too. We're putting together our payment schedule for the replenishment fee next year, which I think we've got it put together. I had a staff call today with the Groundwater Authority, and I let RGS, who's doing the administrative and finances, let them know that after I inform the board on Monday night, we'll be providing them with a couple of spreadsheets, one that shows our payment schedule, and the other that justifies, or doesn't justify, but explains the credit, because we did actually pump less water last year than we forecasted based on 2020. Not really surprising, because as I mentioned before at board meetings during the summer, when the fee started really impacting people, we did see reductions in pumping. So we ended up with somewhere around 100 acre feet less pumping. So we do have a relatively small credit. I think staff did a really good job in forecasting what the payments were going to be based on the previous year's data. We on a $4.1 million, we're within like $150,000. I think that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. So the fee from last year was based on an estimated usage.
We're basing it on this year's estimated usage.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Did you want to make that call that out as a special item on the agenda?
No, I talked to Jim Worth, and he said it's fine just to advise the board during that topic
Okay,
that we've got a fee schedule developed, and we'll be providing it to the Groundwater Authority so they
Okay.
can they did their budget, but I told them at the time that their assumptions probably were not going to be accurate because it wasn't based on our data that we put together. So
did you want to go before Director Rotora or after?
no, I can go after him. Whatever's your pleasure, Mr. President.
Item 8 Baker. How long will the flow reducers be in effect before the water is actually turned off? Or do we
We
have a plan
can't,
for turning?
we're
it
not
off?
allowed to turn the water off at this time.
Okay.
So the flow reducers would remain in effect until they made an arrangement to pay their bills.
Well, under which one are you talking about? Oh, the 8B?
Bravo, yep.
Okay. The board, we brought that the staff brought that to the board with legal prior September, I think, when the governor decided to extend it. And the board just said, let's wait till December and see what happens. If the board decides to go ahead with this, like the direction would go to staff to develop the policy.
Okay.
So we don't have a policy right now. We would have to work with legal to develop a policy. So it's not something we could implement right away.
Also on that note, the moratorium for the shutoffs ended December 31st.
To the best of our knowledge, yes, because we
Yeah.
received no word otherwise.
And we've taken action to notify those.
So we will start about the 13th of this month, sending out the notices
Okay.
for lockoffs to begin the 1st of February.
So this may be a moot point. Okay.
Well, it's not moot point because I think it may be something that, we talked about offering
For
this
future.
offers a lifeline eventually, whereas people be shut off now, they would have it restricted and give them a little more time to square their bill.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other issues, comments, questions, statements about the draft agenda?
I'm good with it.
Okay. Do any comments from the public? All right, item number 6, draft agenda for the special board meeting workshop of January 19.
I think the only comment is we're still taking suggestions from directors, and then, of course, we'll go over the final agenda with you as president
Okay.
to finalize it.
Mal, how's it look to you?
Looking good so far. Be
right.
real curious if there's going to be other ideas being brought forward, but this looks like it'd be a pretty short meeting if this is all we do.
All right, very good. Are there any comments from the public on item 6? Okay, very good. Item number 7, future agenda items. Does anybody have an item they would like to have placed on next month's admin exec meeting, committee meeting agenda?
Nothing special.
Okay, hearing nothing, then Adjourning the meeting at 3:10 PM.
3 in a row. First 3 meetings of the year are all in attendance.
Enjoy it while